Hi, good morning. My name is Iván Martínez. I'm founder and CEO of Robopedics. Well, I think that we should be here around 25 people, so have very bad news because 5 of you will suffer a stroke during your lifetime. And what's worse, 1 of you will stay in a wheelchair for the rest of your life, of the ones you are here, yes. And that's because we are talking about stroke, and stroke is the third leading cause of disability worldwide. And what's more, only in Europe, it represents a cost of more than 60 billion euros. Well, I'm here to talk about stroke, but also about to share a personal story, and it's the story of my father. He suffered a stroke 8 years ago, and unfortunately, after a few months of rehabilitation, doctor told us that he was going to stay here in a wheelchair forever. And of course, at the beginning, you don't believe it, and we didn't, and we searched for alternative solutions. And then what we found is something called exoskeletons. Exoskeletons are, what you see here, are robotic devices that have an engine that power your legs if you don't have strength enough. Okay, and with that, it's true that my father could walk. It was just a clinical trial, but he could stand up and walk, and that was amazing for us. And so, of course, what we decided, okay, we want to buy one of those devices. We want to bring it at home. We want to use it to help my father. But unfortunately, we couldn't. And you know why? Because exoskeletons, they are so expensive, they are so heavy, they are intended for rehabilitation, so de facto, you only find those devices in a hospital, and you can use it under medical supervision, or if you want to use at home as we wanted, we couldn't. And that was really painful and also frustrating. Why? Because we knew there was a technology, a solution for my father, restricted to a few hospitals, but people like him and millions are at home with no solution, and that's very hard. And then, well, I made my decision. I'm a mechanical engineer, so I decided, okay, I'm going to build one myself, and I did it. So I worked on it for 5 years, until by 2020, I had already developed a proof of concept. It was more or less functional, but I'm sure that all of us will remember 2020, COVID. Fortunately, my father was one of those who passed away with COVID, and that was very hard to me. I lost my father. But on top of that, I was sure that I had failed him because I didn't arrive in time. I had something that could help him, but I didn't arrive in time. So it was very hard to me. It took me months until I realized that there were millions like him in a wheelchair worldwide that technology could also help them. And that's why we created Robopedics. So to be clear, our purpose is to democratize an existing technology that can help people like my father, stroke hemiplegic, to stand up and walk. But we want to do it at home, every day, and without any medical supervision. And we want to improve the quality of life and the health of that people, not to rehabilitate, at least not today, because people like my father would have never rehabilitated. And that's a fact. And well, now the good news, what you see here, this is Awake. So robotic orthosis, our product, a new category, and it will make it possible 80% cheaper and 60% lighter than existing solutions. And you might think this is a fantasy, but it is not. Look, this is the main feature of our device, just one leg. Why? Because we are conceived for stroke. And in stroke, you have 1/2 of your body paralyzed, so only one leg. All the solutions in the market, they are designed for rehabilitation of a spinal cord injury, where you need 2 legs. And that tiny detail makes a big difference, because from the very beginning in our design, we can cut cost and weight to 1/2, only by that. But of course, that's not all. We have developed a very low investment manufacturing process, and we have an engineering partner, which is an expert in aeronautics, and many more things. And that's how we are going to do it. Okay, what you see here, to the left, this is our first test with an acute stroke disabled in a hospital, and there we proved that our device was working. And what you see here is the current state of development. This is the 3rd version, and we are still ongoing in the design. I'll give you more details later. Okay, talking business model is also disruptive, because for us, our customer is the disabled which is in a wheelchair, and we want to sell him directly Awake for just 500 euros per month. And we will include training, technical support, customer service, and many other things. And that's something we call device as a service. And as you might see, the price is absolutely nothing if you compare it with the 100,000 euros that an existing solution can cost. So if we talk about promotion, we will do it both online and offline. And we will focus on the community of stakeholders around stroke. And here, what we talk about the patient, the families, the doctors, the hospital, the insurance companies, and many more. We will deliver the device Awake, and also provide the services through existing rehabilitation centers, which are close to the user, and that will be our partners. And finally, our manufacturing process will just be assembly of commercial parts and 3D printing. And as I mentioned, we don't require large investment for doing so. OK, market. Our obsession is to arrive as quick as possible to market. And that's why we are going to start in Spain and with stroke. In Spanish, and that's my natural market. The company is Spanish. But it's also the best testing place for our device in the West, because we are the country with the longest longevity of the population. And here, we have 90,000 people like my father in a wheelchair, disabled. But of course, stroke is not a local problem. Unfortunately, it's a worldwide malady disease. So we will grow in different international markets. We will evolve our device to help in all diseases, not only in stroke, but we can also evolve the technology for other applications. We will start home, but we will go also to rehabilitation. And we can rehabilitate in the hospital, but also home. And why not? We can evolve the technology to enhance the activities of daily living of 700 million elderly population worldwide. So with that combination of markets and application, we will make that our market will grow exponentially. So a little bit of history. We created the company in 2021. By 2022, we raised $500,000. It was around led by IESA, it's a top business school here in Spain, well, worldwide, and also with Capital So. It's a specialized biotech crowd fund. So with that money, we are developing our device, and it should be ready in the coming 6 months, more or less. And then right now, we are working a second round of 1.7 million equity. We have already committed 1.2, and that money should help us to achieve the regulatory clearance of the device and to arrive to market by the end of 2024, beginning of 2025, to the scope, okay? So at that moment, we will start delivering our device. As I mentioned, probably most of the sales will be those renting of 500 euros. We can also offer that by less than 20,000. And our perspective are that I'm showing here only the Spanish market. We expect to be in break-even by 2026, to keep on growing up to the coming years until we arrive around 100 euros net sales, okay? But 100 million euros, and we are talking about 17% of EBITDA and generating 12 million cash every year. That's only Spain. Right now, we are working on the forecast for Europe, and the first figures we have show around 500 million euros in Europe by 2030. Okay, to make it real, of course, we need the best talent and the best partners. And again, good news, we have it. Look, this is a very senior team. They are not students, 160 years of experience, and we are all with us. There you will see some of the top-performing institutions in Barcelona in health and technology. So we cover perfectly the 360-degree needs of the company. And to finish, why invest in Robopedics? Well, of course, that's for investors. We think this is an excellent investment opportunity. We're talking now 500 million only in Europe, 17% of EBITDA. But it's true that in the latest year, there are key partners that are investing and making acquisitions in this market. Second, disruptive. We are talking a disruptive product. Okay, it's a new category and disruptive business model. Device as a service, direct to consumer. Exponential and scalable. International markets, different applications. Also, we are aligned with some major global trends. Aging of the population, one of the major diseases, a stroke. And low public health infrastructures due to home-based healthcare. But what is more important, at least to me, is that our project has impact. We are talking here about improving the quality of life and health like of people like my father in a wheelchair. I finish with this. Remember, that car, Nissan Leaf, first mass-produced electrical car. They didn't succeed. Who succeeded? Tesla, Mr. Elon Musk, he created a new category and he democratized the electrical car. It was not Nissan Leaf. Robopedics, we haven't created the robotic solution for disabled, but we are going to change the game. We are creating a new technology and we will democratize the access of this technology. Thank you very much.